All right, so we got to get into what's going on around Dune Awakening, because yet again, we got some brand new replies from the dev team that we definitely need to talk about. One of the bigger questions being, when can we expect content drops? How often? And we're also going to be getting a brand new patch here soon, but when can you expect that to roll out? Well, we have confirmation about that one, and also expect some downtime. Plus, it looks like the class trainers might actually evolve in this game. We might see some significant updates there. And we've got even more news about base customization, where that is headed. The community management team also replied to some questions regarding the future of factions and guilds. And yes, expect even more quality of life improvements as this game goes on. So yeah, a lot to go over in this video, but if you are new, welcome aboard. Remember to smack that subscribe button to stay in the know and updated about all things Dune Awakening. And again, by far, one of my favorite things to do is read over your top comments. So as always, leave a comment down below. It could end up in a future video. All right, so yeah, I say we start out with what is going on with that brand new patch / hotfix. Here is the official word. So they say this: sleepers, we will be deploying a hotfix on June 18th at 9 a.m. CST with various bug fixes. The expected downtime is about 60 minutes, and the patch notes will be made available once the patch is ready to download. And they go on to say thank you. Now, I will have those patch notes as that is released, so if you guys want to check out that video, remember I will have that up live so you don't miss a thing. Yeah, highly recommend turning on notifications on the channel so you do not miss that update. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the questions that were asked to the community management team of Dune Awakening and also their responses. So here is the first question: how often are we going to be getting content drops? Like every 6 months? That is an excellent question. Here's the response right here from Iggy, our community manager, who says this: shorter than that, but we will talk more about that soon once we're past the craziness of launch. So yeah, once we get through all these quality of life patches and updates, that's going to be great for new content drops, because that should be rolling out nice and smoothly. But it's good to know that you guys can expect new content to be dropping a lot more than just every 6 months. I'm glad to hear that. Now, next question here is this one right here: any way to upgrade building pieces without dismantling? That's the big part of that question. Here's the response: not yet, but we're working to address that in the future. So base building is about to improve in that regard, so that's good news. Now, also we have, how about renaming vehicles like we can bases? Being in a guild base with multiple people, it's impossible to coordinate which Orni is yours when you're loading supplies. So check out the response here, and Iggy confirms, I think it's something the team has discussed, though not sure the status of that. So at least the team is aware of it. Sounds like they're kind of mulling over it, so that's good news. It doesn't seem like it's like on the absolute priority list, but we'll find out what they do with that one. All right, so what do we got next? Are class trainer stories going to continue in the future? And are we going to get any armor rewards or cosmetics? That Gene Threat armor in one of the missions looks pretty sweet, just saying. And the response is as follows, with Iggy confirming there's stuff planned for the future, yeah, but can't say much or I will get spanked. So yeah, anyway, that is definitely a tease, but I'm definitely not going to overhype anything here. But man, it would be cool to see them expand the classes, abilities, and that sort of thing through those advanced trainers. Only time will tell what they do with that one, but it seems like they do have some plans there at the very least. All right, what do we got next? Are we going to see hotkey options to switch seats in vehicles? Hold insert button is getting soul crushing since it's used for more interactions than Starfield loading screens. Dear God, yeah. So this is a big problem. And again, you know, they responded saying, I believe this is one of the quality of life suggestions we got during the closed beta. I think it's been acknowledged, but unsure if it's in the plans. I sure hope it is in the plans. They need to rework again the whole thing. I've discussed it in the previous video, but yeah, even for vehicles, definitely needs to be reworked. All right, what is this? Is there any plans to have our own locally hosted servers or no? That's a big question there. And unfortunately, it is confirmed there are no plans for that. Doesn't seem like there's even any wiggle room there on that one. All right, so we have, hey man, just a quick question. I know you guys mentioned that base raiding isn't really a thing and that you'd be disappointed if you tried. My issue with that statement is the fact that it takes about a minute to crack someone's base open and replace their sub beef and then have access to literally all their stuff. Is this intended? And here's the response. That's an exploit. It's being fixed. So you guys can have a sigh of relief. If you've been through that one, it's going to be addressed. All right, what do we got here? I sent you a DM. Any news on the missing Thopter restorations for all these folks, me included? And we got an update about this. I have no news at the moment. Sorry, last I heard is that the support is working on a tool to help with these restorations. So it is work in progress right now. But yeah, it seems like this is definitely going to be resolved down the road. Again, I'll keep you guys in the know. All right, so you guys know in my previous video, I discussed how the light sources have been capped for base building because they don't want players trolling other players by dropping their performance with like 1,000 different light sources on a base or location in the game. So we have an update about what to expect from like customization when it comes to lighting, and this is actually pretty cool. So here is the question. First of all, check it out here. Could we get different colors then? NPC bases like Harkonnen will always look better with those red lights. And the response is this is pretty cool. I imagine this is in the plan. So it looks like we could be getting different light sources with different color options, and red definitely makes sense for the Harkonnens. Now, what about optimization for the game? Check it out. Is the team prioritizing server optimization or also working on client performance as well? Great question. And the response is both are priorities. I think that's the top tier priority for them now, getting this game running as smooth as possible so that they can really just double down on those future content drops. But what is this right here? So we have guilds and factions. Guilds can align with factions, but what about alliances of guilds within factions that would allow cross-siege teaming or even same-siege teaming of guilds? Great question. And we have, it's something the team is aware of, but not in the immediate plans at the moment. That would make things very, very cool on a single map space for sure, having that kind of like layers and systems in place, I have to say. Let me know if you guys would like to see something like that or not. But you know what? Sound off. Are you a solo player right now? Do you plan to join a team? I'm kind of curious. Right now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm enjoying my solo fun currently. But as I head into the end game, of course, I'm definitely going to want to team up. Now, we have this. Is the dev team aware of the bug that removes all your HUD and zooms out, locks you out from doing anything when crossing server borders in the deep desert? And the response is as follows. Yes, we're pretty aware of that one. So they have it marked down. Looks like there could be a fix in the future. Now we have, when will we get signs to organize our chests? Yeah, that would be another great little quality of life improvement when it comes to managing your base. And the response is good news. It's in the plans, though, again, they have no exact release date for that one. And we have question, Iggy. Are we going to be able to transfer our characters over to other sieges inside the server? Potentially. We got a response. Iggy confirming, yes, it's in the plan, but no ETA at the moment currently. So yes, that is good news there. And now it's time to go over your top comments. As always, leave a comment down below. You never know, it could end up in a future video. Love reading your comments here. And as always, if you are new, welcome aboard. Don't forget to smack that subscribe button to stay in the know about Dune Awakening. I also cover some other really cool open world games and excited for stuff releasing here. Well, actually very, very soon, guys. I cannot wait for Death Stranding 2. I'm just saying, but let's get into your comments here. All right, so the first one is thinking about sand 24/7 was not on my 2025 bingo card. It's the first game since Destiny that I could see myself sticking with for a long haul. And, you know, honestly, I was a little bit worried that I would kind of get bored of the sand-only environment. But what they've done here is added so much color and vibrance. And I really feel like the color pops with the red sand. And then you have, of course, your regular, more mundane sand. But also the lighting conditions really make the environment stand out. And I'm super impressed with how varied even like a sand-only, dune-only environment can feel here. So yeah, kudos to the art team on that one for sure. It's definitely helping me enjoy the experience a lot more. Now, we also have two things I want is auto run and elevators. Both existed in Conan Exiles, so I do believe Funcom can make it in this game as well. I would not be surprised if they both eventually made their way into this one. Yeah, it would only make sense. What do we got next here? Being able to kill your own faction kind of takes the unity out of the Landsrad. Why would I grind to help my faction when they're the ones making the grind harder? So do you guys agree there should be limitations on that or not when it comes to like killing people within your own faction? Sound off. Now we have this. Would be cool if when I set a water cistern to public, I want to be able to set it to separate public circuit. I tested, and if I place a water cistern to public, even when it's empty, it draws from all my other water sources. I want to be able to place a public cistern to help any players that may need to top off their water, but don't want to risk coming back to my base and finding all my water was taken. That would actually be a very cool feature. And, you know, I mentioned Death Stranding earlier. Kind of reminds me of a Death Stranding mechanic I love in Death Stranding when you find a ladder that was placed by another player. That sort of thing is really, really cool, that sort of interaction. Yeah, I don't know. I think it would work in Dune Awakening, that sort of thing. As long as it doesn't take away from the survival aspect, I still feel like there should be somewhat of a sense of survival, like desperation, because this is the Dune universe, you know? So I don't want it to be taken away too much, you know what I'm saying? Now, we're in our 30s. We don't want to fight against sweats who've learned how to perfectly fly the Thopters. Okay, sometimes, but not as much. We're chill. Dude, this comment, I could not agree more with that. That's how I feel about gaming anymore. That's why I love the PvE stuff. And if I could be honest with you guys, I really hope that they consider expanding the PvE stuff more into the in-game. It's kind of a bummer to consider the in-game a very PvP-centric space, and I feel like they need to do something for PvE players when it comes to the in-game specifically. I think they need to draw up plans for that for sure. And yeah, there was another top comment basically saying the same thing here. I'm not just worried about PvP. I don't have a lot of free time, so I'm not pushing for getting killed by a sweat and his closest unemployed friends over and over. So a lot of you guys are feeling that way about this game, and I don't know, maybe in gaming in general. But yeah, there it is. The latest happenings around Dune Awakening. As always, I'm going to keep you guys in the know as to what happens with this one. And yes, look out for more other really cool, interesting games on the channel. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.